Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would film sort of like a makeup look. I'm not really doing anything today, and I know I said in my last message get ready with me video, I really want to start using this Huda Beauty retrograde Mercury retrograde palette a lot more. So I thought we could do a little makeup look. This is gonna be like a full face of makeup. I've picked out a random assortment of products to use. But yeah, I really want to use this eyeshadow palette more. Now there's a specific look I want to do today. I want to do a purple look because I used to do them all the time. I just never filmed them, and it's like one of my favourite things to do. And yeah, so this is the palette. Obviously mine is in 2 pieces. I think I dropped it. But yeah, so this is what the inside of the palette looks like, and it's got all these pretty colours. So we are going to use this. I was tempted to start with my eyes, but then I knew the rest of my face would go wrong, so I'm going to start with my base makeup. So my camera actually decided to die, which is helpful. So I've put it on charge for like 20 minutes now. I'm hoping it doesn't die halfway through. If so, we're going to have to film it in 2 parts. But now I am using the natural light from the sunshine. Well, it's not really sunshine, it's a bit cloudy, but never mind. So of course, like with any makeup, I'm going to start with primer. So I'm actually going to use the Beauty Crop Cocoa Gold Perfecting Primer. Now this I've used a few times. I actually really like it. So we're going to use this one today. I'm just going to put a few pumps on my finger and then put this on my skin. I have done my usual sort of like skin prep beforehand, so nothing sort of like changed there. So I'm just going to rub this in. Oh, this is supposed to like blur your pores, which I need because my skin is breaking out, even though it's not a Wednesday. My skin, I think it's because I went back down south. When I went back down south, my skin was awful. And I don't know if it's because I was using different products, but we're back now. We're back to using our regular products, so hopefully my skin should thank me for that one. There you go. So kind of just change the angle. I think like it's a bit better. So that is primer done. Of course, brows. Studio London said brows because this is a full face of makeup. Now I'm actually really running out of this. There's like barely anything left of this. There you go. So that is my brows like laminated on. They ain't going anywhere today. So then, as always, I'm gonna spot conceal. So I'm just gonna go with my Pop Feel Full Coverage Pot Concealer, which is in the shade FC01. Because I've got a few tiny little breakouts and I don't really want them appearing while I do my makeup. So it's more just like on my chin. I've got one randomly like there for some reason, and I don't know how or where that came from. It just appeared overnight. I mean, my skin is not doing like as bad as it was. It's more just on my right side, but you win some, you lose some, I guess. So I'm just gonna let that sit for a minute and then put some foundation on. So for foundation, I'm going to go with my Collection Hydrogen Serum Foundation with Hyaluronic Acid. This is in the shade 4 Extra Fair. And I'm literally just going to take like, maybe like a pump and a half. Just kind of put this on my face where I need it. This is like more sort of full coverage, so I don't think I need as much. And then of course my damp beauty blender. I mean, the state of it is shocking. But I am just going to blend this out. Now I've just realised I'm wearing a white shirt. This shirt is not going to be white by the end of today, I'll tell you that now. Oh. And I've just got foundation in my hair. How is it in my hair? Oh dear. So that is my foundation. It's honestly made me look like as pale, like as my t-shirt. Like I literally look like a ghost. But this is what contour and bronzer is for. Now I'm just gonna put a tiny little bit of concealer on, just to center points of my face. I'm just gonna use my Studio London Flawless Cream Concealer and just put a tiny bit under my eyes and like on my forehead, and then just like on my chin, just to kind of make these points sort of like the lightest bits of my face. And then again, just with the beauty blender, just gonna blend that out. I did say this was going to be a full face. This is going to be like a full face. Like, it's probably the most makeup I've ever put on my face in like a really long time. There you go. So now I feel like they're a bit brighter. I'm just going to go in a bit of contour. So my collection Full to Finish Contour Wand, again, it's in the shade One Light. Most of the stuff I have is in like the lightest kind of shades. Now I'm actually going to try using a brush to blend this out, just so I can like sort of see like what the difference is between like a brush and beauty blender. So I feel like I use my beauty blender and it just soaks it all up, and then it's like, oh, there was no point me putting any on, you know. Honestly, I think I definitely prefer like using a brush, because now you can actually sort of like see it, and it's not just like completely hidden, so it's not, I'm not just like wasting product for the sake of it, you know. And then I'm going to try contouring my jaw as well. Hopefully that helps me get rid of my double chin, because yeah, we don't want any double chins around here. There you go. So that is contour done. So we're going to move on to a bit of blush. So you all know Rouge Francais blush, like cream blush in the shade Zenobie. Now this is like, it's still going. How it's still going, I don't really know, but it's like, it is still going, so we're still trying to use her up. I've decided, I know I keep saying like, will I repurchase, will I won't. This I've decided I am going to repurchase. Obviously not at this moment in time, but like at some point in the future I will repurchase this. So again, just trying to blend this out. I've just gone back in with my beauty blender just because I prefer my beauty blender for this. But yeah, so that is blush. Again, I feel like it's so subtle, but like it's there. But I will put some pad blush on anyway. Just put a little bit of Vaseline on my lips because they're starting to get really dry. So that's it for cream product. So I'm going to powder. So I'm just going to go in my collection Last Imperfection Sheer Matte Powder. And again, I'm going to take a powder puff. Except I'm not, because I can't get into it. There you go. And then I'm just basically going to put this everywhere I put concealer. So under my eyes, my chin, my forehead. And just use this to set my face. Now again, this is one of my favourite like setting powders, loose powders. And there's actually like not that much left. Like if I flatten it all out, I feel like all my makeup's gonna like run out at the same time. I don't know, I get that feeling, and then I'll have to buy like it all at the same time, but I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I'm not quite there yet. There you go. I've just put my light on because I feel like it's gonna make like the lighting like a bit better. I don't know, I feel like you can actually now see. I don't know, I feel like that's made it a bit better rather than sitting like in front of my window, but that's why like my desk is, so I do my makeup. So now that we've powdered, I'm just going to go in with a tiny little bit of powder bronzer just to kind of touch it up a little bit. So I'm going to go in my collection Bronze Glow. Now this is in the shade Light Terracotta 2. Now I have a tiny feeling this is going to be too dark for me, just by doing like swatches and stuff on the back of my hand. I don't know. So this is either going to be a good idea or it's going to be like a really bad idea. But I am just going to take like a big kind of brush, just like get a little bit on. I'm just going to like tap off all the excess and then just kind of brush that on my cheeks. Just because I don't want it to be like too heavy. I want like that little bit of like colour back, so we're not as pale. So basically everywhere I put like my cream bronzer, this is where it's going, and my camera's about to die again. So now that I've finished my powder bronzer, I'm going to go on to powder blush. I'm just going to use my CRT London Lashes in the shade Matchmaker. Now this is like this really sort of like pretty blush, really like shimmery. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on my cheeks. Like that is just, oh, it's such a nice colour. This is like one of my favourite like powder blushes that I have, and I'm so, it's like a little like mini one as well, so it doesn't take up too much space. So that is face done. I don't know if I'm going to put highlighter on yet. I think I'm going to do my eyes and then see. So I'm going to move on to my eyes now. So as you all know, I'm going to use my Mercury Retrograde palette by Huda Beauty. So it's the current state of it. It's in 2 parts. But I was gonna prime my eyes, but then I put foundation on my eyes anyway, so I'm not gonna prime my eyes. We're just gonna go straight into it. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm gonna go in with the shade Libra, which is this sort of like pastel purple in the center here. And I'm just gonna take this and put this all in my crease. And then I'm gonna blend it out a little bit to try and create a little bit of a wing. There you go. So now that I have done that with the same brush, I'm just going to go back in with the shade Off Balance and just focus this more on my outer corner, just to sort of deepen it up a little bit. There we go. So now that's done, I'm then just going to go in with the shade Momentum again. I'm just going to use like a slightly more fluffier brush, just this shade Momentum here, and I'm just going to sort of use this as sort of like a blending shade, just sort of blend the two shades together, get rid of any harsh lines or anything, just kind of blend it upwards and outwards. There you go. So now that's done, with a sort of like a really thin angular brush, I'm going to go back in with the shade Libra, which is the first purple shade. I'm just going to put this on my lower lash line. There you go. So that is done. So on a flat brush, I'm just going to go in with the shade Cosmic, which is this shimmer purple up here, and I'm just going to tap this all over my eyelid. There you go. So now that's done, again just with the other side of this brush, I'm just going to go in with the shade Supermoon, which is this white sort of like shimmer here, and I'm just going to tap this on my inner corner. I'm going to highlight my brow bone as well. So that is my eyeshadow done. So of course we're going in with some mascara, so I'm just going to use my Sunkissed Mega Bold Lash Mascara just so it can elongate my eyelashes. Oh, that was a big word. I'm so sorry if you can hear music. That is the guy above me. If you can hear that, he does that till about 3 AM. I guess he's woken up now. He drives me up the wall. There you go. You can tell the difference sort of like mascara makes, you know, if you like compare the sides to the other. There you go. So that is mascara done. I've decided I am just going to put on some highlighter. So I'm just going to go with my Ellen Tracy highlighter and blush duo, but just use the highlighter side. I'm just going to take like a fan brush and just pop this on my cheeks, on like the high points of my cheeks, and then the tip of my nose, and then my Cupid's bow as well. Someone is having a little karaoke concert outside. Okay, so that is highlighter. So now all we're gonna do is my lips. I actually don't know if I have a matching, I do not have a matching lip liner. So I'm trying to see if I've got like a lip liner that would work with the liquid lipstick that I want to put on. I don't know if I do. So I'm just going to go in, I believe this is like a Revolution lip liner, and I think it was in the shade Chauffeur. It's all just like rubbed off, but I've still got like quite a bit to go. So I'm just going to line my lips with this. There you go. And then I'm just going to go in with my Lacura Matte Liquid Lipstick. This in the shade Velvet Sugar. So this is from Aldi. Now I believe I've got a matching lip liner somewhere, but I think it's at home. I don't think I brought it to uni with me. Thought I spilled up my white shirt then. So that is lips done. So all I'm going to do is set my face. So I'm just going to use my Primark Prep and Perfect Up All Night Makeup Fixing Spray, because again this is something that I don't use often, but like it really does like set down your makeup. There you go. And then I'm just going to give that a minute to dry. So in the process of putting away my Huda Beauty palette, I've dropped it again and I've dented an eyeshadow. It's going well for me today. Okay, so now my makeup's dried. This is the final makeup look. So we've got the matte lips, the purple eyeshadow look. Honestly, this eyeshadow look is one of my favourites to create. So I think I might like start a series where I take different eyeshadow palettes and create like different like colourful looks, because I've mastered like the purple one. So interesting to see, because I've got palettes, I've got like colourful palettes, I just don't really use them. So I feel like that might be a way to sort of use them and like get back into that. So yeah, I might be starting that soon. So yeah, thanks for watching and stay tuned for another video.